Welcome to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined, with your host, the one and only Betsy Tinnervin. On this podcast, we bring you people who share their personal journeys in life, business, and of course, real estate. Get motivated, inspired, and priceless information from entrepreneurs, community leaders, and realtors who are thriving. Now let's get raw and real. Here's Betsy.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host. Happy Saturday, friends. We are so excited that you are here listening with us. I'm Betsy Tinnervin with the Tampa Bay Investments team. We're so grateful that Robert Palmer and LPT makes this possible for us to bring members of the community in and our awesome LPT agents to be featured on the radio and give all of you the raw and real of real estate. I'm so excited for the guests that I have in the studio today. Some of them are going to be familiar voices, starting with my boy, Brett Lindbeck.
We back. Thanks for having me.
You are back in action, kid. How have you been doing?
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Lovely Tampa Bay. You can't complain.
I know, man. I was talking about one of my friends back home. Everybody knows I'm from Illinois. They can see their breath on FaceTime right now. And they're like, how are you doing? I said, it's good. It's 82 degrees outside. And another familiar voice, Mr. Justin Roth with Embrace Home Loans.
What's going on?
How you doing, Justin?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good. I heard that you have some exciting new products to share with the listeners today.
Yeah, we got a couple new ones rolling out.
That's awesome. I'm really excited to speak to all the buyers that are out there and then obviously potential sellers. We try to bring you the latest and greatest information for potentially purchasing a home, buying an investment, or selling your current property. And I have a new amazing guest that I'm excited to introduce to you guys. Another awesome LPT agent, Mr. Adam.
Hey, glad to be here. Thank you so much.
And Adam, how are you?
I'm good. It's a great day. I woke up and I'm excited to be here.
I know. And the game of real estate is always changing, right?
Always, every day.
We can't even plan our day because it's like,
No.
It's like you have a whole calendar blocked out and then stuff just gets crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely kind of want to start with you, Justin. And for everyone out there, we all know the famous topic that's out there and the essential quote,
Dun, dun,
buy
dun.
the house, don't marry it, date the rate. But everyone is still like having a hard time with this concept. And I know that you can't give us concrete information, but we kind of just want to know, like, what is happening in your world and mind, in the lending scheme of things. And then also we want to dive into kind of the first buy down product that you do have available.
Well, everybody really hasn't got over the date the rate yet. They're still dating it.
I know. I know, right?
So I wish I could say they're over it, but they're not. And I mean, rates are what they are. So as a lender, we try to come out with new products that will help a buyer make it more affordable. We know that buyers tend to stay in homes average 5 to 7 years. So we're starting to come out with buy down products, which got one coming out this month. It's a 2-1 buy down that the seller can actually offer. It'll temporarily buy down the rate the first year at 2%, second year at 1%. We noticed, I believe it was on a $400,000 loan, saved about like $13,000.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
good.
So, Brett, when you're speaking to, one of your potential buyers, kind of explain like how that would be helpful, why it's important, and how you would help them get into a good product if you were using Justin as a lender.
Yeah. Everybody is always mentioning interest rates. We know that. And what's really cool is that there's still people trying to sell their house. And so there's many sellers that want their house to be more attractive. So what are they doing? They're offering credits and they're offering these rate buy downs. So it doesn't matter, even though the interest rate could be at 7%. That doesn't mean that you are going to have to be in that 7% range necessarily.
And I think too, just, with that being said, everybody knows that, if you sell your house and you're like in a temporary housing situation, you're paying rent for a little bit, you don't really want to pay someone else's mortgage payment. So at the end of the day, we're also seeing an influx in rent. And so rent is going to increase as well. So if you're paying $2,500 in rent and you're looking at, potentially purchasing, obviously you can work together with that buyer to figure out what they want their payment to be and then go to the lender and the seller and negotiate that on their behalf. So Adam, kind of what does that look like when you start the negotiation process for a buyer?
When I'm talking to a potential buyer, like let's just say one of my friends, like, hey, I'm looking to buy something, but the interest rates are kind of scaring me. I tell them, okay, where are you looking to be? What are we looking to accomplish here? I would say, same thing that he mentioned. A lot of sellers are saying, hey, I'm willing to contribute a certain amount towards buying your rate down. And it's really incentivizing a lot of people, because even if rates go up, rates go down, like a lot of sellers, new construction, a lot of people, they're here to help. Like, homes are always going to be selling.
100%. I also think that we've seen a little bit of a shift, right? So, Justin, it's crazy. Robert Palmer spoke on Motivational Monday the other day, and it's phenomenal. Like, the guy is a bona fide genius. If anyone is looking for a brokerage that has a leader that gives us the inside scoop, he's been through a market crash before, and he talked a lot about how people, when we're on the up, we're up, right? And we're spending money and we're hiring staff.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're doing all this stuff. And then, no one's prepared for it to go back down. And that's what happens in the market. Like, that's what's going to happen in the world continuously. And the only way to fight inflation is with inflation. So at this point in time, you can either pay someone else's mortgage, and if you do the math, $2,500, let's just start there, times 12, is a lot of money per year, approximately like 30 grand, 40 grand. So, you could be putting that into a home and potentially have the exact same mortgage payment that you have when you are paying someone else's mortgage. So what is kind of your thoughts out there in talking to people about that?
Let's look at what a buy down really is. It's really a crutch, right? So
for sure.
You're going to have a 2-year crutch in hopes that rates are going to equalize. They're going to come down a little bit, and you can possibly refinance out of it at a lower rate on a fixed term, or, let's just say that was an ARM product, that you got a buy down on, and, the introductory rate on a 5-year ARM, let's say they're in the 6s right now, and you're getting it in the 4s on a 2-1 buy down, and the 5s on the next round. So, it's a crutch, it's a good crutch, but it also, it saves you money in the long run.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing is just for people out there to know, and all of our listeners out to know, there's options, right?
Yep.
There is options out there. And when you have a solid agent like Brett or Adam that knows how to negotiate on a buyer's behalf, also if you're selling your home on a seller's behalf, we can put you into the situation that you want to be in. I think, Adam, you made a really good point when talking about basically, I'm going to ask my client what they want and then provide them a solution.
Correct. So let's just say right now, you're talking about like where the rates are and like everything like that. Since where homes have appreciated so much, because I want to say pre-COVID, you could buy a home for, let's just say $200K. It's appreciated now to at least say 400. So a lot of sellers, they're willing to contribute X amount to get your rate down.
100%.
They're still making so much profit that, I'll help you out a little bit, because at the end of the day, they're still benefiting. So there's still definitely plenty of options.
And I know I really didn't touch too much on like who these people are. So segment 2, we'll dive deep into kind of what Adam and Brett specialize in and their niche focus. And Justin's also going to talk a little bit more about the buy down product and what's available to all our buyers out there. So if anyone wants to get a hold of you, Adam, how could they get a hold of you?
You can follow me on my social media. My Instagram is going to be Adam Sells RE for real estate. And on Facebook, you can just find me just by my name, Adam Hartley. You can't miss me. I'll be in a nice blue suit.
Perfect. Mr. Justin Roth, if we have potential buyers out there who want money from you, you are the money man.
Well, you can always call me at 800-333-3004, extension 3113, or you can always go to my website, www.justindroth.com.
And Mr. Brett, Give me your digits, kid.
You got them. It's 813-410-1956. You could just Google me at Brett Lindbeck.
You can be Googled.
Google me.
Mm-hmm.
Google me. You'll see a lot of good stuff there.
Oh, Lord. He just opened up a whole can of worms. We're going to have everyone listening to this show. I just want to make sure that everybody knows to download the iHeartRadio app. We appreciate all of our listeners every single week. We hope that you're having an amazing Saturday today and that you're out being positive and productive. Again, we want to give a shout out to everybody in South Florida. I know that chaos and crisis happens and pretty much it kind of just gets forgotten about and thrown off to the left. And we just want to let you know from Tampa Bay, we hear you. We are with you. We are supporting you. And we hope that you're all rebuilding the amazing communities in Port Charlotte, Cape Coral, Fort Myers. Everybody download that iHeartRadio app. Pop in those earbuds, and we're going to pay some bills. We will catch you after the break.
The best comp plans ever and stock and revenue share, but if we're not closing real estate transactions, all of that is worthless because ultimately everything starts with a real estate transaction, which starts with a consumer. And so we wanted to arm our agents with the absolute best technology and best marketing tools to do more real estate. And that's, again, I think a big differentiator. I think very few brokerages really sit down and say, how do we provide tools to make sure that our agents can be more productive, sell more real estate, win more listings, win at more listing appointments, help more buyers find that home. And we're very focused on that. And so while we have the best comp plans and the best ways for agents to generate wealth and earn, we also have the best tools, and more importantly, I would say have the best tools to help you be successful in real estate.
Welcome back to the iHeart radio station featuring the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinervin, and it is a beautiful Saturday here in Tampa Bay. We are so thankful to all of our listeners out there, grateful for LPT. If you heard segment 1, you know I have Brett Lindback, Mr. Adam, and Mr. Justin. I have 2 amazing realtors in the studio today and an awesome lender talking about buy down rates, new programs available, and we're just going to discuss kind of the overall Tampa Bay market. Adam, I wanted to turn to you really quick because I know that we didn't touch on this segment 1 and I apologize. Say your last name for me too.
Hartley.
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 I always get these cool last names. Adam Hartley. Way cooler than mine. I'm Betsy Tinervin. Okay, so Adam Hartley is an LPT agent. He's actually with the Tampa Bay team. Give a shout out to my boy, Daniel Perez. Love this team. Great people. Big team. And how long have you been with them?
So I've actually been with them now for a little bit over a year, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Awesome. And so why LPT? Like, why'd you join LPT? What do you like about it? Why does it make you a great agent? Give me a little bit of that background.
So my team and I originally we were with our previous brokerage. Then we switched over. They collectively made the decision. You know, they sat down, they spoke to us, they let us know the marketing materials that they have, the opportunities, and just everything that they had to offer for us, and that we could help towards, you know, anyone that we're working with. And it just made so much sense. Just all the materials, everything.
100%.
Yeah, it just made so much sense between the website, the little box that they gave you, and just all the little details to help promote. So like someone that's selling their home, or even if they're looking to buy, it was just too much material to turn down first.
What's your favorite area to work in Tampa Bay?
Wow, that's a good one. So I would definitely say the old neighborhoods that I grew up in, closer to like the Fishhawk area, like close to Lithia. Just because from growing up there to, okay, I remember, I used to just walk here as a kid, and now I'm like, I'm like selling these homes.
Did you grow up in Lithia area?
Yeah, I grew up in the Fishhawk area.
What?
Yeah,
Me too. I didn't even realize that about my guy.
See what I'm saying? Catalyst and connector. Here she is.
Wow.
Yep.
Good stuff.
So you're a Florida native.
Jamaican.
Oh,
I am Jamaican.
See, he's cool. Adam Hartley. Adam Hartley, and he's Jamaican. So how long have you been in Florida?
So I have been in Florida now, 16, 17 years.
Okay.
So I moved from Jamaica when I was 10, lived in New York for about 2 months, and then I moved down here.
Okay, cool. Do you get to go back home often?
Oh, yes. I'm actually going in about 2 weeks to go see some family.
That's so awesome. Perfect. So, Brett, obviously, you and Adam can relate now because you're both from Lithia.
Yeah. What high school did you go to?
Newsom, man.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
I went to Newsom. And how do we not know each other, Adam? This is crazy.
Yep.
This is, what year did you guys?
2015.
13.
No way, Adam,
I
bro. I
kid you
knew
not.
you looked familiar. I knew there was
kid you
something
not.
about this man.
Look at this, 2 LPT
Small world,
agents.
right?
Yeah.
Nuts. Yep.
And
love it.
they grew up together.
My dad worked
Crazy.
there.
Really?
Yeah, Mr. Lindbeck. That's Lindbeck. Lindbeck. That's my pops. Yeah, man.
I wish everyone
Wow.
could actually see them because it's like 2 little kids just in a candy shop. I love you. I
Wow,
love
that's a
you. I
small
know
you.
you.
I love Jamaica, so
Yeah.
Me
thank
too.
you.
That's awesome, Adam. Glad to have you here on the show. No, I was just apologizing because I wanted all the listeners out there to just kind of know who you are. That's fabulous. You know, anyone out there looking to purchase between Brett and Adam, it's really awesome to have agents that know the areas that they're working with. I love the sentence that you contributed, like, oh, I know this because I walked this as a kid. And so it's helpful to be able to relate to families that are looking for good school districts or people that want good nightlife because you've actually been to these places, right? Yes. Love that. Brett, back to what Adam kind of touched on. Robert Palmer never ceases to amaze us. And now we not only had the listing power tool pack with 168 pieces of marketing material to touch the 14% of potential buyers. And I want all sellers to hear that. Only LPT agents can touch the 14% of potential buyers for your home with the listing power pack. No other brokerage can do that.
Yep.
So it doesn't even have to be me or Adam or Brett, but if they're not with LPT, you're not touching the 14%. And Robert Palmer said so, and that's the way it is. So I want to talk about the new product that came out on Monday for the buyers. And the new product that came out on Monday, if everyone was on Monday Motivation, my good little LPT agents, Robert Palmer talked about the new magazines that are coming out with the buyer product.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And the buyer product that is coming out is good for all of you buyers. And Justin, this is like so cool. The product actually has 7 things that they can do to get a lower rate when they're purchasing a home. And so not only do we work with great people like you, Justin, that we can connect them with, Brett and Adam can, you know, do great negotiations, but we actually have a tangible product now that we can hand to all potential buyers that explains 7 things that they can do to get a lower rate on their home. And since we've already talked about the buy down rate, Justin, I now want to talk about the other product that's coming out, which is the bridge loan.
yeah. So basically, that's a product that we got coming out that if you have a home that you're selling right now and you don't really want any contingencies, you want to be able to buy right away. This will allow you to do that, and we don't count it in the debt ratios. So, and then once you sell your home, that loan gets paid off, and that's it. So it just helps you able to put that down payment, the assets out of that house onto the new one.
That's like pretty sweet. And then what about like rates and stuff as far as that's concerned? Is there any like...
You know what? It's like a 1-year arm, I think, or a 9-month arm. So it's not intended to hold long. I believe it's tied to prime plus something.
So break that down.
But interest only, I believe.
Okay, cool. So break that down. I don't want to sell my house.
Yep.
But I want to buy another one.
Yep.
So I call Brett or
Well,
Adam.
you don't want to sell it. You want to sell it, but you don't know how long it's going to take. Yeah.
I may not sell immediately.
Yeah.
So the bridge is the bridge between the point when you actually have it on market to when it's sold.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So Brett, how many people do you see in that scenario?
There's a lot of people in that would be in that scenario. You know, we all know that houses are sitting on market a little bit longer nowadays. Right. And as a seller, you know, you may be forced to put up some credits or concessions in the meantime. So being able to have that tool.
Yeah.
But having the bridge loan also allows them to not have to make an immediate decision.
And
right?
it being a no ratio loan, which is good. So you're not looking at ratios on it, debt ratios.
Yeah. That means
Explain
a lot.
that to our listeners, please, Justin.
So basically what that is even though you're going to have a payment on this, we're not looking at it to get that money out to put on the new house, because we know you're going to have the new loan and you're qualifying for that. And this is paying off the existing.
So you're not looking at the existing mortgage because you know, right.
Yeah.
So no ratios, not looking at debt to income ratios. Just, hey, we're giving you an option.
Because we're going to have both the lines anyways. So we'll have the bridge part and we'll have the new house. So we'll know that either A, that existing home is under contract, or it's on the, on the MLS.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
That's fabulous. Adam, what do you think about that?
really like that. I definitely think a lot of people are going to benefit from that, because especially now there's so many different things. We got to get creative. Like my team lead says, it's now we really have to get creative.
Well, you got to remember too, with rates being a little bit higher, if somebody were just to pull the cash out on that and have a normal amortizing payment with rates where they're at, if you count that in the rate ratios, they might not be able to qualify.
Well, if somebody wants that bridge loan, Justin, how could they get in touch with you?
They can call me at 800-333-3004, extension 3113, or justindroth.com.
I love it. Justin has a website. He thinks he's so cool. JustinDroth.com.
That's respectable.
Adam, if someone wants to get super creative in this market, buy, sell, or invest, how can they get in touch with you?
So you can just go ahead and just give me a call at 813-816-9357, or go to my website at ahartleyhomes.com.
And Mr. Brett Lindbeck.
You can hit me at 813-410-1956 or Google Brett Lindbeck.
And Lindbeck is spelled how?
Lindbeck. Lindbeck.
Well, I'm so glad to have you guys on the show today. Again, for all the listeners out there, if you're potentially thinking of selling your home and then concerned that it might sit a little bit longer as you're trying to get top dollar from one of our LPT agents. Also, if you're a buyer and you're worried about rates, Justin Roth has just thrown out 2 products that are out there for you. The buy down rate if you're a buyer, and then the bridge loan if you're a seller. We appreciate all of our listeners out there. Again, enjoying your Saturday, popping those earbuds while you're doing laundry. Even if you're at work and you're not supposed to, you will not want to miss the raw and the real of real estate with the LPT All-Star Radio Show. We have 2 segments left. We're going to pay a couple bills, and we'll be back after the break.
Biggest win, I think, with the dual path and having these 2 models is that now we become a brokerage for everyone. No matter where you are in your real estate career or what your goals are today, maybe today you're not interested in recruiting or having a team, but then one day you wake up and you are. Well, if you're at the wrong brokerage to do that, you're locked in. Where in our model, we're not holding anyone hostage. We're not tying anyone in. You can move between the different comp plans and have that success and really achieve whatever your definition of success is under one brokerage platform, being LPT.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinervin, with the Tampa Bay Investments team. And to everyone that listens to us week after week, we love you. And we try to bring you the raw and the real of real estate today. We also try to keep you up to date on Tampa Bay and our market. Tampa Bay is such a broad market, right? We have Clearwater, St. Pete. We have Pasco County up to Wesley Chapel, Zephyr Hills. We go all the way over to Pinellas, which again hits that Clearwater, St. Pete area. We have beautiful areas in Tampa. Tampa is just massive. I think that it's so funny for me coming from Bloomington, Illinois to Tampa. My friends back home, like 15 minutes is like a long drive, right? It'll take you 45 minutes to get up across Hillsborough County. And so I want to talk Tampa. I want to talk real estate. We hit you guys with a couple pieces of information today. One, a really great product that Justin Roth with Embrace Home Loans has come out with, which is a bridge loan for sellers that are potentially going to sell. And as this market shifts into not so much a seller's market, you may sit on the market a little bit longer. He also hit you with another buy down product if you're a buyer. That again helps sellers and buyers. Sellers are listed at top dollar pricing. They can get a good buyer under contract, especially with Mr. Adam and Mr. Brett, 2 fabulous LPT agents that are on the show today, and get a concrete situation where yes, they're buying down the buyer's rate, but now we know the buyer is actually in a position to afford that payment and is comfortable with the transaction because rates are kind of high. So that was amazing. Little recap from segments 1 and 2. Now we're going to talk Tampa, right? So I just read an interesting fact that the Florida market is the highest appreciating market in the country at a record-breaking 24.47%.
Because we got the best governor in the country.
DeSantis. So no matter what your political beliefs are, that's totally cool. I think Florida as a whole, we are a tech hub, right? And let's just go straight out of Florida into Tampa. We are like the 3rd largest metro city. And let's talk metro cities, guys. Like, they are tech hubs. We have people here, Amazon, Tesla, like big time businesses. Brett, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm biased. I'm from Tampa, born and raised, but I lived in Washington, D.C. for a few years, and I lived in San Diego, California for a few years.
Oh, Lord.
So I've seen tech hubs, and I'm telling you, there is something about the energy we have in Tampa. I moved my butt back last October, and I think it's the people here. There's something about the people here. I think maybe we have the culture from even Northeast, the people that moved down Midwest.
We are a melting pot for
We're
sure.
a melting pot. It's so diverse. There's so much to do. And even beyond, I know you mentioned the metro area, but our suburb areas are the best places to raise a family.
100%.
Speaking from experience.
100%. And Adam, I think what's really cool about Tampa is the eclectic culture, right? So anyone who is my friend on social media knows I have a super blended family, and bringing them from Illinois to Florida has been so great, for my boys, because you can really go anywhere in Tampa, whether it is nightlife or professional, and you can have tattoos, dreads, have a vibe, and everyone is accepted here.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that?
So I personally really love it. One of the biggest things why I'm so fond of Tampa is just because everywhere you go, the same thing that you just mentioned, you can find, whether it's diversification in just like certain foods that you want, just cultures, anywhere that you go, there's just like so many different things. I mean, you want to go somewhere and just be surrounded in like a Hispanic community, have some good Hispanic food. You want some Jamaican food. It's like everywhere you go, there's just like something going on. And personally, I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons why so many people are just moving to Tampa, and just to see like the growth that we've seen in like the past couple of years, it's nuts compared to like what I've seen to now. It's just grown so much.
And speaking of our metro area, there's so many high-rise condos, apartments, even workspace buildings.
And you guys totally also have left out that like we are affordable. We are a no income tax state.
Yeah.
So like, speaking of condos and high rises, I think another thing, Justin, for buyers right now, why eliminate condos, apartments, and townhomes?
Yeah, definitely. And not only that, too, one of the things that you forgot, too, is we have Florida Saves Homes on our property taxes. So we're capped at
Well, Justin,
3%.
tell people about that, buddy.
So, yeah, our taxes, once you purchase the home, they can only go up by 3% a year.
So everyone listening, everybody knows we can homestead here, which is really great. But again, there is only a 3% increase on property tax.
Now, coming from Chicago and Crook County, I mean, that was 30%.
It's horrible.
Swing in a year.
Yeah. I mean, I know that my dad literally has to appeal all of the taxes on his investment properties every single year because it is outrageous what they're doing. I want to just throw out numbers for you guys. So one of my really good friends and I back home are going to buy a 5-unit, right? So the price of the 5-unit is like a lot cheaper. It was listed at $395, but at $395, just in the taxes, we're going to be $9,000 a year.
Wow. My father-in-law, he's got like, $350,000, $400,000 house. It's like $10,000 a year.
Yeah, when I was back in Illinois, I bought my house for $328,000, and this was in 2015. I lived in kind of like a really good area, and my property taxes were $10,000 a year, and that was 2015.
My townhouse was $215,000. It was $6,000.
Wow.
Yeah,
that
so
that makes the value of Florida's
but that's what I'm saying. So like, circle back to Florida.
Right.
And
like people that are thinking of relocating from Illinois, New York, California, where one, you're going to come here, your cost of living is going to be lower. Even with high interest rates currently, you can have affordable living in comparison to what you're currently paying.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I lived in San Diego. I moved back pretty quick.
You did?
To Tampa. I love it here.
I also do agree. Like, I think that Tampa has a whole vibe. Let's talk about some great industries that, we also have in Tampa, because I get a lot of questions all the time. Why should I invest in real estate in Tampa or in Florida? And in my personal opinion, we are an apex market. Even throughout the seller's market, rents have continued to increase while the home value is continuing to increase. So even if you're paying a little bit more for an asset here, you have less taxes and also affordable living for potential renters to place in your investment property. Brett, do you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I think here we have a lot of different options if you look for an investment. One thing it's crucial here that you didn't even mention is short-term rentals here. Yeah. We have an amazing Airbnb vacation rental market. It's insane.
Mecca.
Yeah. And if you really want to cash flow, that's a very good option, you know.
And again, when we analyze investment properties for everyone out there that might be a first-time investor, we automatically analyze our Airbnb or short-term rentals, even mid-term rentals with long-term rents. So the long-term rents have to suffice the payments and cash flow outside of short-term rentals in case we have a situation like COVID or things like that that could affect your asset.
Sure.
However, why would you not invest in Florida, Adam?
Honestly, I don't know why they wouldn't. I talked to a lot of people. They're like, oh, no, I'm going to wait for the crash. And I'm like, oh, well, right now, everything's going up. So why wouldn't you want to jump on the wave? Personally, and yet to piggyback on what you were saying, I also work closer to the Orlando area as well. And Airbnbs out there,
oh yeah,
people are buying up so many of the communities, and just to see how much those values are still going up, people are still moving. So
we always got to watch the big guys, right?
You really
do. The big guys are not making mistakes.
They'll show their
like if you go to people that have made billions of dollars and go, I think you're wrong.
Those guys are coming in and buying full subdivisions.
Yeah. They want our area. And I know that even 2 years ago, there was 1,000 people a day moving to Orlando. A day. Mm-hmm. Well, if somebody wants to invest in our fabulous Sunshine State, Adam, how do they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me by just give me a call. My number is 813-816-9357.
And if you want an amazing buy down, if you're a buyer on interest rates package, or you're looking for a bridge loan as a seller, or you want hometown heroes. I mean, I could go on and on and on about Jay Roth because he's cool and has a website. So if somebody wants to hit you up, man, how do they contact you?
1-800-333-3004, extension 3113, and JustinDRoth.com.
And Mr. Brett Lindbeck, I've just had the privilege of working really close with you. Definitely want to get into actually the triplex scenario on the next segment. But I just appreciate you, man. How could people get a hold of you if they're looking to buy, sell, or invest?
Oh, I'm honored to be working with you, Betsy. I just want to say that. It's great learning with you and from you. But you can search me on Google at Brett Lindbeck, or just give me a call. It's 813-410-1956.
If anyone searches Brett on Google, I want all the good juice and the deets on what comes up. I'm Betsy Tinnervin. I'm your host. If you're also interested in LPT or speaking with anyone from the Tampa Bay Investments team, you can contact me at 813-609-0229. Pop in those earbuds, download the iHeartRadio app. We are going to pay some bills, and we will catch you after the break. Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinnervin, with the Tampa Bay Investments team. We've had a phenomenal show on this Saturday. We have talked about so many awesome products that not only LPT offers their agents, and again, exclusive to LPT agents, the Listing Power Pack. So if you're a potential seller out there and you're not working with an LPT agent, your home will not reach the 14% of potential buyers that everyone else reaches through Zillow and Realtor.com and the MLS. Only us with LPT and the Listing Power Pack can reach that 14%. Robert Palmer said so, and Robert Palmer's the man, so that's just a fact.
Agreed.
I have Adam and Brett with LPT in the house today. Justin Roth with Embrace Home Loans. They have given you priceless information in reference to purchasing a house in this hot to trot market. Adam and Brett have touched on some phenomenal things going on in Tampa Bay. We always seem to forget about the investors, and everyone knows that is my niche, and we love them. And Florida is a great state to invest in. If anyone's looking to invest in real estate, please reach out to Adam or Brett. They can help you with that process, as they are both technically Florida natives. I mean, Adam, moving here at 10, you're a Florida native, right?
Yeah.
Let's circle back to, I know I had asked Adam earlier, why LPT, etc. We're going to hit Brett and Adam with the inside of kind of who they are and why. But Justin, at the break, you said you wanted to talk about something exciting.
Yeah, we always like to give back to our armed forces, and we do offer the Hometown Heroes.
So listeners, if you are anyone that is in a service position, this thing used to be like firefighters,
yeah,
police,
they opened it up.
and they opened it up to like correctional officers.
Dietitians.
Yeah.
So, Justin, if someone wants to connect with you in regards to potentially getting the Hometown Hero program, and just kind of talk about that really quick, what does that offer?
Basically what it is, it's up to 5% of the purchase price, basically, towards your down payment, capped at $25,000. And it is repayable, but it's no payment on the loan for the entire time you have it. You only pay it back when you sell or refinance.
So $25,000 could do a lot for somebody.
Definitely.
So when you say repayable, that means you need to pay it back on the...
Yeah, so when you go to sell, it'll be on the settlement statement as a lien being paid off.
And this is a really good option for people if they are short down payment funds.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they're tight on that ratio by 1%, that could be make or break.
So Hometown Hero program, that's awesome. And then circling back, Adam, I know you had kind of also mentioned in the break, I didn't really ask you in the beginning just kind of why real estate and what you love about it. And you can kind of wrap in a little LPT with that too.
Yeah. So the reason why I got into real estate, to make a long story short, growing up, my mom was always financially savvy. So she kind of taught that to me. She worked in a bank. Fast forward, I wanted to figure out, okay, how can I make my own wealth? And then I actually learned about real estate when I was in high school, bought my first house when I was 21. I kind of did a little bit of house hacking there. I was like, wow, this is really good. Sold that house and I was like, man, I really enjoy this. So I was like, you know what? Let's see where this goes. COVID happened, everything was shut down. I was like, man, this is my opportunity. So I was like, you know what? Let's start the career. And that's when I got my license and I've loved it. I've honestly just loved
That's
it.
awesome. I love that. I have, my youngest is 19 and he's in sales. I've told him, why would you not just live at home for 2 years, stack your money, buy a duplex, live in one side, let the other side basically pay your mortgage. I love hearing you talk about being young at 21. That's phenomenal. Great accomplishment. Purchasing real estate. Everybody knows, and all my listeners know, I think real estate is the sexiest asset known to man. I don't do Dogecoin, Bitcoin, stock markets. I only do real estate just because I believe that the risk versus rate of return is just a phenomenal product. So that's amazing, Adam. Congrats on your success, everything you've done.
Thank you.
Definitely someone to work with. Adam with LPT is phenomenal. Very well spoken, very well educated, very seasoned. If you're buying a house at 21 years old, you have experience in real estate. Mr. Brett Lindbeck.
Yes.
I don't know if I want to Google you because I don't know exactly what would come up. But I do want the listeners to just kind of know that I know that you have gotten really deep into the investing niche, and I've just kind of seen you grow kind of your business in that aspect. I know recently you probably talked to 50 people within the last week that called that wanted a triplex that was for sale.
Yeah.
And we already had it under contract, but then you took the time to ask every single one of those potential investors if they had financing plans. You connected them with a lender. Then you also went into asking them what they wanted in an investment process. Exactly. Talk a little bit about what you do for those type of clients.
Yeah, what we do is really we figure out what they're looking for. And based off what they tell me, if it's on specifically investors, figure out what they're looking for. And we have exclusive market reports on properties that are off market, on market, the gamut. And what we do is just connect them with what they're looking for, connect them with great people like Justin over here, whether they're looking for finance options. A lot of these investors are coming in with cash, which is really cool for us as an agent because they aren't as affected as by the interest rates as a normal consumer is.
For sure.
So, yeah, that's what we're doing.
And we do put the other people that do want to finance, like Justin with the DSCR product or things like that, in a position where the asset makes sense. Mm-hmm. And we take the time to do the in-depth analysis on, resetting the taxes, getting insurance quotes, doing all the things behind the scenes during due diligence or that inspection period to make sure that asset's going to cash flow.
Yeah.
And I think I heard you say last week, Brett, you said I wouldn't sell someone an asset that I wouldn't buy myself.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because you want to make sure that it is a good investment.
Yeah. I mean, actually piggybacking off of what Adam said, I mean, that's why I'm in real estate. It's so cool. It's so awesome. You're looking at these assets that maybe you're going to live in there and develop memories and a family there. Maybe you're going to use it as a way to grow your wealth. And so either way, it's something that's special to me is like, I can't, if I see problems with the property, I just can't look you in the eye and tell you, this is a good one.
Yeah.
We're going to find you that good
Oh, we
one.
love you.
Exactly.
We're going to find you that good one. There's so many out there.
And you'd be surprised to know how many people, like, they're a little bit hesitant to actually work with agents. And you're like, no, I'm
Right.
actually here to, like, let's figure it out.
Well, and so everyone else out there knows too, sellers do pay the commission to have a buyer's agent. We work for all of
Right.
our buyers for free. So it's a great way to have representation, just like Adam was saying. Justin, I know that Adam and Brett kind of both got to say a little piece just about like who they are and like relationship wise. Last I checked, you've been doing loans for a little bit of time.
Yeah, 21 years.
21.
Nice.
Adam bought his first property at 21. Justin is like 50 and he's been doing loans 21 years.
50.
I know that you really enjoy like helping people and finding good
Yeah.
products for them.
Yeah, it's kind of like him. I wouldn't put anybody in a loan I wouldn't feel comfortable in. So,
And there's options.
yeah, there's tons of options for whatever type of situation.
Yeah, there's so many options. People they're like, well, if I sell my house now, where am I going to go? And things like that. It's like, you got to realize when you sell your house, you have a lot of capital to leverage and to put yourself into an asset that's going to appreciate faster.
Exactly.
It's just a simple conversation that needs to be had with somebody that, is going to shoot them straight, be real, and be on their side.
Well, I think even for everyone out there today, Adam and Brett did a really good job just talking about the products that they have in their toolbox offered by LPT with sellers and buyers that allows them to provide great customer service. They also told you as people how much information and knowledge they have about the Tampa Bay market, and Adam going all the way up to like Orlando allows them to really represent you and get you the product that you're looking for. And Justin, as always, if someone wants to contact you about a loan, man, give them your contact information.
It's 800-333-3004, extension 3113, and it's justindroth.com.
Mr. Adam, throw out that contact info.
My number is going to be 813-816-9357.
And Mr. Brett,
You can Google me, Brett Lindbeck. Everything's there. You can also call me. It's 813-410-1956.
Love it.
again, all of our listeners out there, happy Saturday. We love you. A couple things that I wanted to throw out as well. We will be doing the Invest Tour January 14th. All things investments. We will have all the resources there. It's a full day. Early bird tickets are $59. If you would like a ticket to that event, my number is 813-609-0229. You will not want to miss that event. Speakers flying in from all over the country. We want to thank you today for listening, taking the time. We bring the raw and the real of real estate. Adam and Brett are two phenomenal agents. They've given out their information several times. Please contact them in reference to buying, selling, or investing. Justin Roth can hook you up and go through any loan products that he has available. Again, we thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and you will catch us next week.
Thanks for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined. We hope this episode motivated and inspired you. And don't forget to rate and review us. Thanks again for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast with Betsy Tinervin.